Welcome to Digital Asset News. Take a top stories in crypto and bring down a bite-sized pieces. Today, the question really has to be asked is, did we miss the boat on Solana? And should we actually be investing in Solana after a 343% increase in less than 30 days? So we'll take a look at what's going on as far as like where we are now, the Solana ecosystem, and we're going to compare Solana to Ethereum in 2017 and the parabolic run it went through. Also, we'll take a look at Solana's CEO interview and some main points and dissect that. And lastly, we'll take a look at price action or price prediction. So before we jump into all of that and what's going on specifically in the market, I want to just bring to light a quick article about Social Security and Medicare. And that's in the United States. If you're not in the United States, we have Social Security, which gives us a little bit of money in our retirement, and Medicare is like our healthcare system for everybody 65 and older. No, we don't have universal healthcare. It's just the way it is. So what I want to say is congratulations to everybody who has invested into crypto, because there's going to be a lot more things like this coming down the pipe. And I just would say to you, just be cautious about what's going on. So real quick, Social Security now projected to run out of money sooner than expected. The Social Security Trust Fund most Americans rely on for their retirement will run out of money in 12 years. 1 year sooner than expected. The financial outlook for Social Security and Medicare is also bleak, as we're looking to run out of Medicare as far as the hospital reimbursement in 6 years or less. So that is what is going on. So just remember something. Cryptocurrency was created out of the financial devastation of the 2008 housing market crisis, Bitcoin specifically. So when we take a look at what is going on in the world around us and our governments, you can't trust anybody. The only one you can trust is you. So do your own research and do your due diligence and make sure that you're in the right place at the right time, which I think you are. All right, so that is that little snippet, little drop of scariness. But here's some good news. First of all, the market cap today is fantastic. 2.27 trillion. Touches 2.3 trillion, goes up and down, and so on and so forth. Bitcoin price just went over 50,000 and just went down to 49.9. And the average daily sentiment still 43, about halfway there. But the Bitcoin daily sentiment is 70 out of 100. And we are again using Trade the Chain. For some reason, I keep getting questions about this, about what I'm using. It's Trade the Chain. There's a link in the description. It looks just like this. And you can go there for sentiment analysis on every cryptocurrency digital assets that pretty much is out there, at least the top like 400 or 500 or something crazy like that. So check out Trade the Chain, and that is what is going on. Let's just jump into today's topics, which is Solana, and more Solana. So not so much as far as news. We know what's going on. Look, Cardano's about to hit their smart contracts. We see a lot of things with Ethereum moving forward. Yes, gas fees are high. Ethereum 2.0, hopefully right around the corner, and a lot of different things that are going on. And El Salvador, I believe, on the 7th is going to make Bitcoin its legal tender. So a lot of great things going on. But what I want to focus on today was Solana, because everything has just been going up. And the question I keep getting asked is, did I miss the boat? And to answer that question, we have to do just our due diligence. So first of all, where the heck are we? Well, Solana today just passed Dogecoin, which is crazy to me that it just passed Dogecoin. And I said here, Solana overtakes Dogecoin, even though Doge is bursting with utility, a stellar team of developers, and fantastic tokenomics. And of course, that is sarcasm. So there is a huge disconnect in the market as far as like what is actual utility and everything else. I know Dogecoin, all your holders are gonna, just rail on me. But when we go through this Solana, you cannot tell me that Dogecoin has more utility than Solana. So we'll just go there. I'm happy for you. If you invest in Dogecoin, great, good job. I invested in Dogecoin a long time ago, made a good amount of money, but that's not what we're here for. So that is where we are right now. And Solana's looking at around $143, which is pretty good considering like last year it was like 50 cents or something crazy like that. And then me and Mike, the investor, we also did a deep dive into this. We talked about Cardano and Solana, and I will link that in the description below. A lot of great information there, especially for Mike. He knows a lot about Solana and a lot what's going on. So I highly recommend that video if you want to go even deeper. But to take a look at where are we now, this is where we're at. And everybody's really enthralled with what is going on as far as like Solana and transactions per second. You're going to hear that a lot, TPS, transactions per second. How many times can Solana actually transact on the blockchain in a second, and how fast is it as compared to something else, right? So like right now, if you go to solana.com, it'll tell you live transactions per second is 1,662. That's pretty good because Bitcoin is like in the teens. I can't even tell you what it is, 7 to 14, something like that. Ethereum is like around 45. Cardano is not that high whatsoever. And then, of course, in Solana, hey, it's pretty high, which people will ask, well, how close is that to like a Visa? Glad you asked that question. So with Visa, they do about 1,700 transactions per second. So right away, I can tell you Solana is doing pretty much what Visa is. Now, there's a question about finality and how that all works, and as it actually goes through, is there like a final settlement? It's not what we're talking about today. Just transactions per second, pretty good. You got a lot of validator nodes, almost 1,000. So yeah, okay, we'll say it's a pretty good decentralized. And the next question that we're going to take a look at is, how things are going is the ecosystem. So how does Solana stack up? Well, if you go back here, let me flip this through here. And let me blow this up so you can see what I see. So with the ecosystem itself, if you go to, again, solana.com/ecosystem, I will link that in the description. FTX, pretty big exchange. Sam Beekman-Fried, I believe his name is. I know I butchered his name. So, and of course, every time in the comments how I butchered it. But of course, for Solana, FTX and Alameda Research chose Solana for speed. And we're going to talk about this real quick when the CEO of Solana talks about how he met up with the CEO of FTX and what they did. So there's one part to that, and then it gets a little crazier. USDC, the stablecoin from Circle, chose Solana for fast global settlement. 500 million or 50 million average issue daily, 837 million issued on Solana. Not too bad. And then also Metaplex chose Solana to elevate creators. And Metaplex is for NFTs. And those seem to be doing pretty good lately if you've been following the NFT revolution, what's going on. But what I want you to notice is here, 34 cents average mint cost to mint an NFT on Metaplex, which is run on top of Solana, is 34 cents. Average auction cost is $3. So if you want to talk about getting out to the masses, that is huge. And then on top of that, you've also got SolC.io, which is an NFT marketplace, which goes live today. And also you've got another one called SolanaArt.io, which is also doing NFTs right now. So it's not like it's vaporware. And then to move forward, Audius, that's that great one that just got picked up by TikTok, chose Solana to scale. So that says something about that. And then, of course, back around we go. And that's just the top ones. But now, if you look at the projects that are being built on it, here's 332 more. So I'm not going to go through all these, but you're welcome to do that. I will link this in the description. You can check it out. But it seems like Solana has no shortage of people or projects being built upon it. Looking pretty good. So that is that piece. And then also there was one more thing about how Solana, 50,000 electric vehicles, charging stations in Europe to offer crypto payments. There's two payments have partnered up to roll out crypto across 50,000. It's HIPS Payment Group Limited and Vority. The integration of crypto payments with charging stations will occur over the next 3 years, starting November 2021, and that's right around the corner. So like I've always said, I think Q4 is going to be fireworks for cryptocurrency. And this is their actual payment terminal. Looks pretty cool, right? You got, let's see, Visa right here. You got crypto, Apple Pay, Start Charging, membership, Swish, and so on and so forth. And that's going to be for all electric vehicle payments. And the protocol was built on Ethereum and Solana in May 2021 and plans to expand support to Cardano in the future. And that's, before we go on, I need to make mention of one thing, and that is that we are talking about Solana, and don't be confused that just because I'm talking about Solana in depth today, that's all I'm investing in. I believe that people, well, I believe for myself, I can't tell you what to do. I'm not a financial advisor. This is just a financial opinion, not financial advice. But I really do believe that it's not a zero-sum game. It's not a one token to rule them all, Highlander nonsense. I think there's a lot of different space for this. And even if we go up to, I don't know, $150 trillion market cap, even if Ethereum is 50% of that, we've got somebody else like a Solana, like a Cardano, or whatever else, or vice versa. It doesn't really matter. I think we are so early right now, it really doesn't matter. I think we should stop the tribalism. It gets a little bit ridiculous, and that's just my 2 cents. So that is that little piece right there. And then the next part here, if we talk about Solana, what's going on, there was this, I belong to the Patreon group over at Invest Answers with James, and he put this out. This was Raoul Powell over there at Real Vision. He said, Solana is the ETH of this cycle. He also said that Ethereum is the greatest trade of all time as far as like risk to reward ratio. And I thought it was interesting because I'm like, Solana is the ETH of this cycle. Well, it could be because back in, gosh, let me blow this up. Back in the good old days, 2017, you saw the price of Ethereum $10, $9, $9.65, and then went all the way in about a year to $1,100. That's a pretty good deal. And then for Solana, if you take a look at that, if we just go back just 1 year, it was about $2, right? And then we go all the way up to here to just a measly 128 or 143, whatever it is right now. So I think it's got a ways to go. And we've seen a lot of things like that. But Solana could be the 2017 ETH because everybody compares it to it as far as an ETH killer. I don't think anything's like a real big ETH killer right now. I think Ethereum will go to 10K regardless because everybody says it's going to go and everybody believes in it. But we'll see what happens when ETH 2.0 comes out. I think there'll be a big dip after that, but who knows? So I think Solana could be that 2017 ride. So on top of that, I wanted to share with you just the basics for, it was an interview on Bloomberg called Odd Lots. And they just had on the CEO of Solana, Anatoly Yakovenko. I'm pretty sure I nailed that one. And they just asked him a couple of questions and he answered. And I think it's important to understand where he's coming from as far as like who he is, who his team is, what they do, and the utility. So I can't blow this up because it just looks a little bit goofy. Someone's going to read it to you right down here in introduction. Banks aren't losing money to DeFi. DeFi user interface is tough for noobs. Ethereum is tough for serious trading because of wait times and gas fees. And that's true. If you're an Ethereum maximalist, you got to be true and tell me that the Ethereum gas fees are out of control. All right, so it says here, this was the Anatoly. People kind of accept that blockchain is an inefficient database. The trade-off is called the trilemma. Decentralization, performance, and security. That's the problem. You can't do everything in blockchain because either you're going to have a decentralized factor or you can centralize it and you can scale it, make it super secure, but it's not decentralized, or you can make it super decentralized, but it's not really that secure and you can't really scale it too well. And that's why Ethereum is going for proof of work to proof of stake. So they're saying ETH and POW systems weren't designed to maximize bandwidth. And this is what was interesting to me. Anatoly's background, the CEO. Most of the career was at Qualcomm from 2003, flip phones, I remember those, 2015, optimizing augmented reality on a supercomputer. He says you can use time division multiple access, how 2G cellular networks work. If you allow everyone to transmit on the cellular network at the same time, you get noise. This is similar to proof of work networks. So this is how he figured out this thing called proof of history instead of proof of work or proof of stake. This is a clock outside of consensus. It rotates the buttons of when any block producer and transmits a block. Do it about every 1.6 seconds. Makes consensus much more efficient and removes many bottlenecks. And then to go on, no, not there. The goals of Solana. Let's see. And this was interesting. And this really gets down to just how early we really are. So listen to this. Anatoly says the seed level slide deck literally said blockchain at NASDAQ speed. And that was what he would give to his investors just to talk about Solana. And he said initially they'd be going after monopolies like NASDAQ and CME. And at first it was a dream, felt like a silly tagline on a slide deck, but now it feels real. I think there's a chance that financial execution trading can actually run on Solana in the next 5 to 10 years for the majority of things that are traded in the world. And that's really what it comes down to. So you see where his background is, you see what he's been doing, and he can even tell you that the CEO of Solana goes, look, this is a great project and I think we can do really well, but we're like 5 to 10 years away from what it is. So when you think like, I missed the opportunity and this isn't the right time and you're so early, you have no idea. And that's just really what it comes down to. So moving on to the next piece here. I already did that one. Let's talk about price action. And that's the big thing. And before I talk about this, I'll just tell you what I'm doing personally. So there are a couple of things that I still dollar cost average every single day, and one of those is Solana, and I haven't stopped that yet. I don't think we're near where we should be. I did a price prediction video not too long ago in June, and I gave a prediction that I thought it would go to $200. This is when Solana was at $23. And I said, there's no way that it can't go at least back to its all-time high and not hit $200. And now, now we're at almost 150, and I think I lowballed it. But look, no one's gonna be mad at me for lowballing something. So I think we are exactly where we should be. So I still dollar cost average Solana. I still dollar cost average Cardano every couple of days, not every single day, and also Avalanche and a couple other ones. I do not dollar cost average Bitcoin anymore. I think for me, it's done. I've got my positions. Ethereum, I don't dollar cost average that anymore because I think for me right now it's done, and that's for me. Now, if people want to be more safe and dollar cost average, that's fine. I just think that for me, I've already got my safe positions. Now I do a little bit more riskier stuff, and off I go. So if we talk about this price of $200, maybe I really am lowballing it. Let's take a look here. So there's the market cap calculator. So the coins, it's about 143. Its circulating supply is, let's take a look. Make sure I'm correct. Circulating supply is 258,212. So we go back over here, 291, blah, blah, blah. And its market cap is 41 billion. So market cap around 41, yeah, exactly. So 41 billion. So not too shabby in itself. So we're looking at Solana, 41 billion. Why couldn't, we're only at $2 trillion, 2.3 trillion right now. Why couldn't Solana, we're at 143 to hit 300. We just need 82 billion, which would put it right around Binance coin. Why couldn't we do that? Isn't there enough out there where people are speculating to go, this could really do it? And then that's the 300. So $200, I think we're going to blow right past. I think I'm a little bit off, but that's where I see it could go. And this, to me, is $100 to $150 trillion market cap asset class. And that's where I see it. And the reason is because of this graphic, which I talk about all the time. Take a look at this. See this little square right here? It says silver right here. That little square, that's $100 billion. It's $100 billion. That's silver right there. Crypto is about this. This was made in May 27, 2020. Here's the military spending. I know that went up. Here's the budget deficit. That went way up. Coins, Fed's balance sheet, billionaires, gold. Gold's at a $12 trillion market cap. Fortune 500, stock markets. You're looking at almost $100 trillion. It says 89.5 right here. But yeah, $100 trillion for the stock market. Couldn't we tokenize some of that? How about the money supply? How about the global debt? How about the real estate? Can we tokenize real estate? How about the wealth that's out there? And that's for everybody throughout the entire globe. And what about derivatives? And we're talking about, everything you could possibly think of. And here's how far it goes. We're talking about $1 quadrillion. So if you think that 2 trillion, 2.4 or 5 trillion is the limit, look where we're at right here for the entire world's money and markets. And that is it. So look, I still think Solana's got a long ways to go. We'll see how far it has to go. But again, only time will tell. But for everything I just talked about, you have to be aware that what goes up will come down, and that there is only so much that it can actually be pumped into, and it's not a straight up hockey stick. There's going to be volatility and peaks and valleys. So just be cautious. And that's it for today. So look, if you liked the video, found a little value in it, give it a like, give it a thumbs up. Also consider subscribing. A lot of things we talk about are time sensitive. And that's it for today. So thanks so much. I appreciate it. And I'll see you on the next one.